Good morning, greeting, salutation, and all that other good stuff. It's been a minute, but actually we could call these an hour. It's been an hour. It's been days. It's been months. It's been a millennia. Right now, it's cold. It's cold for me. Some of you other folks be out here in shorts, but I'm cold. All right, let me get off this street because you know how. I'm excited, man. I haven't talked to you guys. I got so much to talk to you about. First and foremost, we got the race coming up in 7 days on this trail. I don't know if you can see it. Let me get actually a little bit of sign coming up. But I've been training almost every other day. I don't run in the rain because I don't want to slip and break something. So I did miss my training days for maybe 1 week. So here's a trail, but here's a better one. Looks nice. I bet this guy is running too. All right, here we go. So this is it. All right. So I'm just gonna walk the trail down and then I'm gonna do it. It's up and then back down. I should start it from here. That way I'll be finished, but I wanna walk it off. And I wanna talk to you guys, so yeah. So yeah, the race, the first day I ran half of it and I was tired. And then for the past 5 weeks, I've been doing my little training regimen. So I'm hoping when I get out there, I'll get down there when I do it. It's gonna be popping. So I think he's my competition. Now I don't know if I never ran a race, so I'm not anticipating being number 1 or 2, 3, 4, or 5. But I will finish the race. And my goal is not to stop. Even if I'm like limping running like like that. My coworker said they might pull up. But I don't know, man, because I'll be all like in my worst, well, looking like all, tired and shit. And they'll be all like, oh, and I'm like, ooh. I don't think my dad will come. My brother might show up. So that's that. I do like running. There's points where I was running and right when I was on my last lap and I'm all sweaty and then the wind, now it's cold. I don't know how that's going to work, but your body will get hot. But I was hot and then the breeze would just kiss me. And I felt, look at me running. It was a good feeling. I don't know if this is going to be my thing, especially in the winter. I might start up back in the summertime. I can't say it helped me lose weight or anything. Not that was my initial aim. But I do feel better, which is, I don't know if that makes sense. There's that. What else? A big old squirrel. Hey, big old squirrel. School's a mess, man. It's 1 month in. My kids, not all of them. And when I say my kids, I mean my students. They just don't get it. I had a kid on Friday who broke his iPad. He came in, he said, Mr. Bailey, someone stepped on my iPad. And then he walks away. Like that's... Now, this kid in particular always has his stuff on the floor, never listens. I'm pretty sure I said, you guys got to pay for these iPads, which I don't even think they will. But I want to make his life... and this is not under some malicious thing, but I want him to know consequences exist, even if he doesn't have to... And it's not like he's not even paying for it. His mom is, and I'm pretty sure, I haven't met his mom, but I'm pretty sure she's a nice lady. Why should she pay for his mistakes? But and what makes it worse is he's really smart, So I take it upon myself that I gotta teach him the ways, but I don't know, man. So I got that. I got a kid who had nothing in all year it's all month. So his grade for the progress report was a 0. And, I'm happy giving zeros. You do nothing, you get nothing. But then his mom is emailing me, another kid, my son said he had an assignment and do we need to buy him he was in class. I told him you could just draw a stick fit. You don't need anything. You need to listen. I got a bunch of personalities that just make everything so. Kids that go to the bathroom because it's an emergency the minute I start giving instructions. They lolly-dally. They come back, and then class is over. And then weeks later, like yesterday, I'm getting an email. What was the assignment? Kids who don't hand in the contracts. We have a science contract. And I'm like, you got the contract. I'll bring it in tomorrow. I'll bring it in tomorrow. I'll bring it in tomorrow. So then I purposely did some. Today we're gonna play a game about safety. And everyone gets out their iPads ready to play. Like, not you don't got your contract. He's like, but. I'm like, and he's like giving me all the, I don't see why. Now my methods are working because the other kids are like, wow, it's just a game, but you're not gonna do very well in class if you don't bring your stuff. I'm like, thank you. So I don't know what to do with these personalities. It's because they could ruin your day. I have 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. So I got 72 personalities. One girl, she's talking in church. We're a church school. And our school says church is the #1 class. So she's in the church because we have mass, Catholic, whatever. And she's like talking. She comes out of there. I said, bam, you get a paper. What's a paper? A paper is just this thing that I have them write to say, I will not, whatever it happens to be. It's annoying. It's tedious because I got to keep track of them all. Because if they slick enough, they just hold on to it till I forget about it. But my kids are, as they are, that they just keep doing stuff. So I will get them on the back end, basically. So I forgot today. Oh, tomorrow you got 2. It will work itself out. So she's like, I got a pass. I give them no writing passes. So she's like, I got a pass in the room. Like, it doesn't matter. So then she got upset. So then she's like, and I'm like, because you're talking in church. So what if I wasn't talking? How do you know I was talking? Like, I'm really going to get up in the middle of, while the priest is priesting, to say, will you please stop talking? Think, I don't know, are you? And this one, she's pretty smart. Probably the smartest one in the class. So I pull her to the side. I say, listen, you're smart enough to know what's going on. Like, am I smart enough to? Oh. I was so, but I, and it just set my mood for the rest of that day. Because again, personalities. I'm like, you don't want me to be the not happy teacher. But I tell them, when I go home, I reset. I don't let it carry over the next day. Now, mind you, if you threw my computer out the window, that's going to haunt you for the rest of the year. Like, oh, yeah. But the next day, she came in, hi. And I was like, hi. And, we're good. So I had a kid had a dream about me. He's like, oh, I had a dream that you gave me a bad grade on the test. And I was crying. And I go, what happened? But then you changed it. I'm like, that doesn't sound like me. So a month in, we do have the law down, just a couple personalities that everyone got something. Like I got a student, he's also pretty low one, but he's gonna get help eventually. Like next week we have the meeting for him. So he has a reason, but in general, those who are not doing the work are the most talkative, disruptive types. So anyway, one day he says something like he plays football. I said, yo, let me know when you got a game. On the one day, he's like, I got a game. I'm like, where? He's like, I don't know. So I emailed the office because she knows. But I went to the volleyball game, so I couldn't go. Then the next week or whatever, he's like, I got another game, but it's far. I said, okay. Because I don't know. My weekends be filled with shit. Like next weekend I'll be doing, I'll get to that next weekend, but So it's like, it's either now or never. I don't know how many games I can go to anyway. So I'm like, all right, ask your mom to tell me where it is. He's like, okay. Next day, he didn't do that. So next day I go to the office. I said, oh, can you tell me where so-and-so game is? She's like, okay, I'll do that. Now it's Saturday. She didn't hit me up. So then I'm like, because there's no way to find these games. They're just not in a logical thing, because they don't all play for our school, and even our school, they're just not easy to find. For the volleyball, they gave me a schedule, so I've been on that. I've been to every game. I am MVP. But the parents, I go to the games, but the parents, they're the ones that got to get their kids up, drag them, feed them, put them in there, and then sit there and cheer. Last night, I'll come back to my story. Yesterday I was at the game, and I was trying to do some, because we have parent conference meeting thing this week. I tell you, my weeks are busy. And the system that we use to set up the conferences is broken. I try like 15 times, and it takes a whole lot. It takes a good 5 minutes to set it up. You press send, and at the end it goes, error. So I keep doing it, it's not working. So I was like, all right, I could just use a Google form, Google Calendar, and I'm trying all these other ways. I'm trying to get it in. So I'm doing this at the game, and then one of my students looks up like, Mr. Bailey, are you gonna be on your phone, or are you gonna watch us? And I felt kind of bad, because, you know, not that I have kids, but I don't think it's good that if, you know, you go to see your kids and you're on your phone, regardless if you got shit to do, which I had shit to do. So then I'm watching them, and this game was actually good. And said student was out there like just killing it. Now our team is kind of, I don't know the ranking, but we're underdogs. So, but this game, they're playing against their rivals or the best team, and the score was like, our girls were 10 and they were like 16. Then it was 17-17. Then it was us 18. And then them 17. Then it was 18-18, 19-19, 20-20. And then every time the ball would come, all the parents are just like, ah. Because normally we're used to seeing our girls just kind of try their best. But this time it got up to like 25. And that's basic, well, from my understanding, 25 is where the game ends. But they were tied at 25. But then it was 26, 25, 26, 26. And then it went 27. And then the score person put it at 0. And we're all like, who won? And everyone's like, who won? I thought it goes up to 25. And you got to win by 2. But it's like, who won? Then finally, they call over the ref, our coach, and she's like, we won. And then all the parents, and we're like, yeah! But then the next game, they got beat. And then the third game, it goes up to 15. And we had like 5, and they had 15. But when we left, everyone was talking to the coach, because I was walking behind the coach. And they're just like, good game, coach. And they are getting better. You know, they hustle more. Like before, that ball would just be like, boop, boop, boop. All right, so back to this other boy. So I want to go to his football game, you know, just show support, because it helps. You know, if the kids know that you support them in class, out of class, sometimes it helps them, you know, buy into that you're not trying to make their lives miserable. So I'm waiting. I send an email, nothing. So then I call. So I got his mom's number, parents' number. I call his mom. I'm like, hello, this is Mr. Bailey. Your son said he had a game. He didn't tell me where it was. I would like to come. Please call me back. And then nothing. It's like, okay, well, I told him to tell his mom, so I can't do much other than what I did. At least my voice will be there. At worst, she'll say, Mr. Bailey called you asking about a game. Like, oh yeah. But she did call, and it was like, she's like, so the call was so weird. It was like this. I have caller ID, or at least her number comes up in call ID, so I know who it is. I'm like, hello. She's like, yeah. And I'm like, this is Mr. Bailey. Your son has a football game And I was trying to find out when, but he never told me. It's like, oh yeah, it's in Collegeville. Collegeville is about an hour and a half from where I live. So I think she was saying as in, it's far, so don't worry about it. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And then after some awkward silence, she's like, do you want me to send it to you? I'm like, yes, that'd be nice. And she's like, okay. And I'm like, okay, I'll see you guys there. And then she sends it. I do what I gotta do, but because she called so late, I mean, I could have called it the day before, nevertheless. So I had like exactly an hour and 20, 30 minutes to get there, to be on time. And it's somewhere I've never been. I like to leave earlier just so I could kind of roll up and whatever, make mistakes. So I'm driving. I get to the spot, and I get there right on time, right to where the location of where she sent me. And I get there, and I'm looking at a field. It looks something like that, but a field. Ain't nobody there. I'm like, maybe I'm early, but it's on time. Maybe they're coming out. But parents would be setting up or something. So I drive around a couple times, and I'm like, I go down some roads, cul-de-sac looking roads, down some weird ass alleyways, because maybe it's in the backyard. I don't know. I go to a gas station, like a Wawa looking place, and I'm like, do you know where the football game is for kids? This guy's looking at me like, what's a football game? So then I'm about to give up. So I go back there, just maybe they showed up. So then I just send a message saying, I'm here, but I don't see anyone. So then about 10 minutes later, I get a call saying, hi, where are you? And I'm like, I'm in front of the field. Like, oh yeah, their directions sent me there too. And I'm just like, okay. She's like, it's 5 minutes away. I'll send you the new ones. She sends me the new ones. I go there. I find the game. It's at the almost halfway through. I don't know what she looks like, other than she's black, but there's a lot of black people there. And then I'm just walking. I walk over to our side, and then she's like, hey. I'm like, hey. She shakes my hand. Like, that's his brother. I shake his hand. And it's like, he's got on pink gloves. And he's this number. So I'm just watching him. Then he comes over. I guess it's halftime. He comes over. He sees me. Not even just no. I know he saw me because I'm just standing. So then goes back to playing, and he's good. At one point they threw the ball. He caught it. He ran down there. He got a touchdown. Another time they threw the ball to him. He missed it. So, he's good enough where they throwing him the ball and stuff. And then but they still ended. The game ended. They lost. And but I don't know what I'm gonna say to him after the fact. And it was getting dark because it's winter-ish time now. I don't want to be driving in dark. There was the back roads all the way up there. So then I told his brother, I'm like, all right, tell him he did a great job, man. Let him know he has homework. Do his homework on the weekend. And then I left. I bounced because people are gonna take forever. So I go home. Next day on Monday, he's like, Mr. Bailey came to my game. So I know it means something. The presence of people. I didn't have that a lot. When I would perform, it'd be a rare thing. Now, mind you, I don't invite people. But when I did, one time I had a big show. I was in a band, and our band disbanded. So it was our last band show. So I invited a whole lot of people. And I'm on stage, and I'm in the crowd looking. Let's say there was like four different groups of people who said they're gonna come, but they never pulled up. And I just felt kind of, because you see other people's people pull up. Try saying that 3 times. Other people's pull up, but no one pulled up for me. And it's kind of felt, so maybe I just don't ask people to come because I don't want to get disappointed. But yeah, so as I was saying, going to their games kind of whatever. So the other day his seat was over because I want the seats to be in a row. So his seats it was not in the right spot. So I'm like, all right, can you line up your seats? Like, it's only like, it's just a little bit over the line. I said, what happens in football when you over the line? Like, you get a penalty, you lose whatever. I'm like, oh, so since you're over the line, you're going to get 10 papers, whatever number he says. So I should give you 10 papers for being, he's like, no, and he moved over. I didn't yell at him. And it makes me feel good because maybe all year we could just use football references to get him timeout. And he'll be like, or I could talk to him like the coach, because the coach was talking to him all for the game I was there. He just kept pulling him to the side. So maybe that could work for him. But it's tedious, man. The school don't pay me for that gas money. And that time I had papers due that weekend. So I had to come home, get situated, and try to work on it. But that's being a teacher, you know? We don't get paid enough. I did find this cool shirt. It's a Marvel-looking type shirt. It says, I teach the future heroes, which I love it. But then it's like, do I really want to buy it? I do. It's only $20. But again, teachers, you know? All right, what else is going on? We're almost halfway. I went the back way. I don't think I ever go this way much. But I want to keep the trail nice and... I want to, get the trail on when I get to the trail. What else? I'm now so I was talking to one of my coworkers, my floor buddy. We teach on the same floor, art teacher. And she came over she said, I heard the expression, but no one ever used it. She's like, I want to share some tea or, gossip. I don't know why it's called tea. But I'm a chatty patty. But I don't know, the day goes on and you see shit and I'm like, did you hear? And she's like, no. And I'm like, well, she's like, oh. And she's like, did you hear? Like, no. I'm like, oh. But for the most part, I'm in the dark all day. I don't have anyone else on my floor, and she's in the elementary building. So I just be down there all by myself all day, dealing with my 26 interesting personalities. And then it's like, it is something annoying. But, I do like it. Everything changes. So, because now jumping over to grad school, right? So in my grad classes, I'm studying special education. And one chapter was all about ADHD, attention deficit and hyper disorder. The next chapter was emotional disorder or behavior and emotional. So just about that, the rules and for the ADHD, it's like given all the symptoms. Well, some students cannot sit in their seat. Like, okay, that's 2 of mine. Some are emotional. Okay, that's 2 of mine. Some always talk without raising their hand. That's 5. I'm like, that's basically my whole class. And ADHD, according to IDEA, but that's an acronym. It's not, you can't, what's the word? It's not, like if you had autism, then you can get help from the school. Special systems would be in place to help that kid adjust. But ADHD, you're on your own. And then they were saying one of the factors that can cause ADHD is a poor diet. My kids don't eat breakfast. When they do eat or bring food, it's like junk food, Takis. I don't think Takis is helping their development. So it's like, or a trauma in the home, arguments, seeing bad shit, death in family. I'm sure some of my kids have experienced that. And it's like, oh my gosh. And it's like, how do you come? I mean, I had issues. I know I wasn't a perfect kid. I wasn't a perfect Patty, a perfect Pat, a perfect Pete. But yeah, man. Because then you try to teach them, and it's just like, I'm looking at a kid. Why don't you have your, like, every day I'm on, like, when you come from your locker, get your iPad, get your pencil, They come in, they sit down, they're talking to their friend, class starts, and they're like, oh, I forgot my pencil. Like, how do you forget your pencil? I mean, I did have pencils. I bought a whole bunch of pencils for the year, basically. Right now, I have some Halloween pencils. I got Christmas pencils. I just bought a bunch of pencils. What the kids are doing is they're taking not one, not two, but 5 pencils. And then the pencils will be all over the floor. They be biting them and breaking them. I'm like, enough. You ain't getting no more pencils. So I just put the pencils away. Now the kids don't have pencils. They're gonna have a pencil. I'm like, no. He's like, Matthew, why are you so mean? Well, how are they gonna learn? So they need pencils. And again, their situation may be they can't. But I know all of the kids came with pencils and stuff the first week of school. So I don't know. And I was joking like, yeah, you guys are going to lose all your shit within, well, I didn't say shit, but you guys are going to lose everything within like a week. And like, no, but they did. So maybe next year or after Christmas, we could reboot and come up with a system. But because my idea was, here's a pencil, take a pencil, borrow a pencil, return a pencil. They would not return it. Started seeing my pencils all over the school, somewhere in the gym, somewhere over here. They just be. So I bought some pencil cases. There's only like 10 boys who don't got pencil cases. So I bought cases, and we're gonna go from there. Again, spending money that I don't have, not technically getting reimbursed. Maybe there's smiles. Anything else school related? I called some parents. I called some parents. I hate calling. Well, it's not as bad as I thought it would be, but I'm not a big fan of calling parents. Conversation goes like this. Hello? Hi. Johnny doesn't do his work. And the parent will be like, oh, I know Johnny doesn't do his work. I kind of told him he doesn't have to. I'm like, okay. Move on to the next one. And Johnny is kind of rude. Oh, I'll talk to him. He's rude to me too. I'm like, okay. One kid, I look at him, I say, do you have any questions? He says, no. Actually, shrugs. I'm like, you have any questions? Shrugs. So I'm asking the parent. He's like, oh, he's just shy. Okay. Like, they're not giving me anything useful other than they more or less are allowed to be the way they are. So it's kind of frustrating. Then it's like playing phone tag, because when am I supposed to meet or talk to the parents? Like, I get to work at 6 in the morning. I leave at maybe 5. From 7:30 to 3:30, I'm with the kids. They're right in front of me. You can't have a meeting with one parent. I mean, last week it worked out where the special teacher, the art teacher, she held the kids, and then I went into her room and talked. But really quick, 15 minutes is not enough. But yeah. So grad school, I'm gradding along. One class, I got an A. Everything I handed in, A. This is the midterm this week. Tuesday at 5:30. I spent like 3-4 hours yesterday just working on it. Getting distracted. At one point, I popped on the computer, started making a beat, because you gotta let your brain, because it can't be all work and no play, right? I go back, I get in there, and finally, I don't even know if it's correct, but it looks nice. She likes my artwork, my presentation that I have been doing thus far. So I think aesthetically, it looks good. And I did all the stuff because she gave us a template to follow. And then I opted, she gave us, we could just hand it in. We could pre-record a video, or we could do it live on a little Zoom. you know I'm gonna do it live, which will probably give me some little brownie points, like, you're so brave. Like, no, I go by the name of Ryman, and that's but I won't say all that. So that's that one. Then on the other one, the special education class, that one, so far I've been getting A's too. Well, no, I can't say that. So we had some reaction papers. I got A's on that. The one paper I didn't know, again, I went to the football game, and then I'm like trying to, like, when I come home from all this day of doing shit, I'm so tired. So I fell asleep. So I woke up and I did it. Well, I overslept. When I say overslept, I get up at 4. So anything after 4 is oversleeping for me. But I get to work. The day happens as it is, because kids are going to be kids. And then finally, when they left, I did the paper and I submitted it. Fingers crossed, because there's not a due date per se, but every week we have a new class, so I don't know the cutoff. For the other class, he said 9:30. This special needs class, it doesn't say a date or anything. But apparently the next day, she's like, A+, I like the way you work it, no diggity. I took an IEP test. I got a 78 on that. And I think I talked about it, but I only got that grade because I teach at a private school, and private schools don't have IEPs. It's only a public school thing. But I've heard IEP enough times, and I thought we did. So those 2 questions, gave me an 80. I got an 82 on a chapter 1, 2, and 3 test. And then today, or by Tuesday, I'll probably take it today, we got a midterm. So chapter 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. And these chapters are long, man. I read them because get that knowledge, but they long. Be like, so, but they're interesting. It is giving me a perspective on how to teach. So that is the purpose of going to grad school, and get my teaching cert. Yesterday I just learned about standards. So when I was teaching, it would be like, all right, here's the words, learn your words. But that's not teaching. I mean, it's base level. But standards it's what you should know by this time. They should be able to and there's a bunch of them. So I was trying to work that out. But it is working. But yeah, so far so good. I think the next round will be in January, so I'll have a little break over Christmas, I believe. Oh, I think these are trail people. People practicing for the race. I'm almost there too. I've never run the full one, so I'm a little nervous. I'll make a little add-on to tell you how that goes. I don't know. We'll see. But regardless, I already paid for it, and I'm not backing out unless it's raining, unless it's canceled. All right, and let's see. We got the last thing here. I think it works out though. So I was talking to 4 people, not at the same time, but they just kind of happen to be that way. Talking to 4 people. The first one was a teacher, and I get excited when I am talking to other teachers because they know. If you're a teacher, you kind of already had that checkbox filled. You ain't doing it for the money. And when I be on about kids today, you could be like, I know. But then we could go far from there. But then, this was back in the summer though. I was like, yeah. I got stuff from my classroom. And she's like, can I help you decorate it? And she was just too eager to help me decorate it. I don't want to introduce some rando into my school because I'm going to get in trouble, you know? So I'm like hesitant. And then she kind of just tapered off. Like, damn it. So, damn. I could have gotten to the school and killed all the kids. Like, you never know. You never know. The next person that came along was, I forget who. But, we're talking. And I was just like, well, they just stopped talking. The end. And then the next person came along, she actually lives right behind, not lives, close, like 5 minutes from where I work. So I'm thinking, oh, cool, I could finish work and then we can go out for lunch or something. Gone. And then the next person, interesting person, we're talking and she was just kind of like, I was telling her that this boy never tucks in his shirt. And she says, why does he gotta tuck in his shirt? You're like that? Why do you care about his shirt? And I'm like, it's the rules of the school. Like, oh, I don't know why you want to tuck in his shirt. And she's going on and on about the shirt tucking. Then she goes this way. I don't even know how. She did this to herself. She goes, you know, people who have their pants hanging down. It was within the same, and she didn't know me well enough to, anyway, she goes, guys who have their pants hanging down, I don't know why they do that. It's so disgusting. Why do they do that? I'm like, are you fucking with me? So then I hit her with this one. So you're okay with girls rolling up their skirts so their butt cheeks are hanging out? It's like, ew, why would anyone do that? Why would anyone do that? Because that's what girls do. Not everyone. Not my girls at my school, but when I was in Japan, they used to do that. Roll up their little skirts. And she's like, why would anyone do that? So I had to bring it back like, so clearly different people do different things. And the reason I want the shirts to be tucked in is because that's the rule. In the same way, but she wasn't understanding the words that were coming out of my mouth. And so that's one. I told her that my kid, he was playing football and then he scored a home run. And she was quick to go, that's not a home run. That is a touchdown. Like she's explaining it to me. It could be a simple, I know what he meant kind of thing. That was strike 2. Strike 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. So when she stopped talking to me, I was okay with that. I guess the strike 5, 7, 8, 9, the way she would talk about her family, there's always a flag, If you're calling someone crazy, it's probably in your genes or whatever. But yeah, I mean, if I have to spin it, it works out because I am super busy. There's no way I could really be in any relationship doing all these things and keep it at this high caliber, unless they're going to school too. But I don't ever meet anyone who's going to school too. But so yeah, we're almost down to where we need to be. Wish me luck. I gotta go all the way down and come all the way back. And now I'm not warm. I mean, when I came down here, I was cold. That's hence all this. Now I'm kind of, but we could maybe tie. This is new. I don't know what it is, but they might have done this because it's, can you see it? Yeah, this red stuff. Because this is where the thing starts. But anyway, be safe. Wish me luck. If I don't pop back on, I'll probably pop back on after the race. But yeah. Peace. What's up? This is tacked on at the end. I just ran my 5K practice. And I'm feeling it now. My legs are kind of like, hey, they fonzing. But again, that feeling of I set out to do something, I did it. It's like it almost feels like when I did the Guinness record thing, right? And then I came in that home stretch. It felt like that, but it's shorter. In total, it took me 29 minutes to run a 5K. That's the best I can do right this moment with my 5 weeks of practice for my first one. But in 30 minutes, you get this feeling of accomplishment. You don't got to buy anything. Well, you do have to have the right shoes. Because in the summer, I was walking like I'd be walking, and I come home, my feet hurt. And I'm like, why does my feet hurt? But then I realized, well, maybe I need new shoes. When I started running, I bought new shoes, and my feet don't hurt no more. So you need the right gear, but other than that, you just need yourself. And that feeling, oh. But yeah, I'm feeling it. My legs hurt, but it's a good hurt. So I don't know how I'm gonna run throughout the week, but I need to practice. I didn't stop, I just kept going. It felt good. Even this guy was like saying I was doing a good job. So yeah, so that's my little add-on. In my city, we're having a garlic fest. I think it was yesterday. It might be today and yesterday, Saturday, Sunday. So I might come down here. But anyway, peace.